Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of this week's Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. For today, Harper's making me laugh in the show intro. We're covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from April the 25th, 1992. If you're listening on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up gimmick to like the video, and so that Harper's not angry.
Hit that fucking bell, you lazy fucks. Just hit the bell. How hard is that? They hit subscribe and the bell to get notifications. Jeez, pretend like we mean something to you. How about that? Fuck. Jesus Christ.
And before I throw it to Doc and ask how he's doing, big time shout out to Disrespectfully Classy, Marquis Blassie, Mike Schroeder, Joe Ice, good old Justin. Thank you for your generous support on Patreon each and every month. Doc is living the dream this week and floating on a cloud. How are you, Doc?
Well, I think we're starting to see what losing to Mississippi's Ole Miss and
Arkansas.
whoever else y'all lost to on Sunday does to Harper.
Oh God,
He's
bad
salty.
football down in the bayou, is it not?
Yeah, best offensive line ever, bro. I'm telling you.
What are you talking about?
What?
I'm trying to figure out which team you're talking about here.
Both of them.
Because one team does have a decent offensive line, and the other one sucks.
Yeah, the other one couldn't block fucking anything.
Yeah.
They couldn't block a bunch of 5-year-olds.
I'm feeling good because 16-1 is back on track. I utter humiliation of the quote-unquote greatest coach of all time, sending him to his worst defeat in his 4 million year career. What a show, what a bounce back, setting up a huge tilt next Sunday night. Cowboys, 49ers, it doesn't get any better than that.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
But the Monday night games have been kind of poo-poo, huh?
Well, we'll get to that in just a minute.
I watched it last night. I was like, I ain't feel like watching this anymore.
Yeah, Seahawks and Giants was not very entertaining.
Yeah.
That's because the Giants are no good.
Yeah, that is true.
They're terrible.
But I don't know.
Over there,
I'd rather that than the work that was Sunday Night Football of Chiefs and Jets.
Hold on, we'll get there too.
Okay.
Now, so we're all locked in. Harper, you seem to be especially fired up. We've learned something about you.
What?
Here tonight already. We believe that maybe all these times when we thought you were late because you were shitting, perhaps it was because you were taking the dog outside for a shit.
I don't know. She just started doing her thing all of a sudden. And you know what? I was sitting here fucking waiting for the fucking playoff baseball game to come on. And you fucking know what I was watching on fucking YouTube, Doc? Or fucking listening to it? Fucking Test for Echo, the Rush album.
Oh, that's a weird one.
That one's fucking badass, dude. I forgot how good that album is.
So you couldn't just text us and go, "Hey, you want to record early or something?"
No. Well, because I was because I knew the dog had to take a shit, and I was like, "Man, fuck."
You were still smoking that bowl?
Yeah, I was still smoking that Doja, as Mike calls it.
A doobie, as Mike calls it.
Yeah.
A doobie.
Okay.
Oh my God! Right. Guess what happened to me?
What happened? More egg yolks?
No. Fuck, you know how All right, I'm sitting there eating a sandwich, right? And I got like, the little crab singles that you peel the plastic off.
Sure.
I'm fucking eating it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I pull it. It was a piece of plastic from the fucking wrapper. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, this was one of them cheese slices they fucking recalled because of the plastic being in people's mouths.
If it's going to happen to anyone, it's going to happen to Harper.
And I'm like, oh, man, I should call some attorney right now.
You should.
If only you knew who to call.
Yeah, don't do it.
Stephen P. knew.
So were you in fear for your life?
No. I'm like, what the fuck is
Wrong answer.
Oh, yes. And I'm emotionally distressed now.
We need to get you fitted for a neck brace.
Yes. I'm going to call up Joe Gertner and try to use his.
He's the condom filler and it tastes like vanilla. That was my favorite one he ever did. That was clever.
Oh, man.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Well,
what are we?
So in an effort to maybe class this up a little bit, let's talk about children.
Okay.
Harper, did you watch by any chance the Toy Story football game the other night? Other day?
Well, see, I forgot it was on because it was like 9:30 or some shit when it came on. I'm like, man, I forgot about this. And I saw like the last minute of it. And I'm like, what the fuck am I sitting? Like, what the fuck is this?
Okay,
so you know what that tells you if they're doing this is that kids aren't watching football. It's adults watching football, and they're trying to get kids to watch football again.
Yes.
Right.
Partly.
Yeah,
Now, here's another problem with that, though. Here's another problem with that. Mike, exactly how big is the group of people that London football is for? How big is that group?
I hear from people from overseas, and they tell me that there are a lot of people there who love the NFL, which I don't doubt that. I just think while that may be true, and may be a percentage of people who do like football over in the UK and Europe, I think it is Roger Goodell's pipe dream. And I think it's just the biggest waste.
How many times have you been at the shoot job and somebody who's all of a sudden a booker gets that, I'm going to leave my legacy. And then everybody else that's underneath that is led on some chase for some stupid reason that doesn't draw a dime, but it's going to be about that booker's legacy.
And let me add something else to it. Like, they're going over there multiple times a year now, which I guess they're trying to figure out, like they're even going to Germany now. But here's the thing that gets me. And I'm going to tie this back into wrestling.
If it doesn't go in, spit on it and cram it in anyway.
Yeah.
So those games do draw. But here's the thing that I want to say. Let's say, just for the sake of arguing, they move the Jacksonville Jaguars over there. And they become the London Jaguars, right? Kind of the same way, like with AEW doing a big show over there. Okay, you drew a big house. You drew a big house, right? Now what happens, though, if you have to play 8 to 9 home games a year and that team is not successful? How, and I could be proved wrong, but how many people are going to still continue to pack that stadium each and every week for a home game?
When it's not new anymore.
When it's not new anymore. And I'm sorry, as much as there are things that I hate about America, if I am an American-born person, I get that I would be getting paid a lot of money to move to London and play football, but I don't know if I would want to be drafted into that situation, into the NFL. And you can say, oh, Mike, but they get paid a lot of money. They won't care. Bullshit, pal. If I was a 20,
you get on a plane to go play the Raiders or the Chargers or the Seahawks. Fuck that.
No, it's not that. I'm saying for the team that is based there. I'm talking about the team that is based there. They now have to live in London. That is going to be their home residence for 5 months out of the year. They can do off-season stuff here, but for the team that would be based there, they're going to be living there from mid-July through possibly late January, early February if you made it all the way that far into the season. That is not something that I would want to do.
Well,
and I know I'm not the only person who would feel that way.
As a fan of English soccer,
and I love the London people. This ain't about them. It's about I'm born here, I'm raised here. I'll live in any city in this country to play football, but I don't want to live overseas. That's just my personal opinion.
And then do you think the NFL, the way some players act, what if they act like that in a foreign country where there's different laws?
The other side of it too is I need to be clear. I love traveling. I've never been to Europe, but I want to get there eventually. And I know my country has some serious issues, but damn it, they're like my issues. I rather deal with what I know than what I don't know. So that's all I'm saying. It's nothing
you need
about
to stop being unpatriotic by saying
London being bad. It's nothing about any other like dude, I know people who've lived there and they're like, oh, I love it. I loved it. I loved it when I lived there. Great. I'm born in New Orleans. I'm gonna live in two places. I'm gonna live in two places in my life.
Motherfucker.
I'm gonna live in two places in my life. The Dallas Metroplex or New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm not planning on living nowhere else. Those are the two places I know. So I just can't see like a 22-year-old like wanting to transplant their life. And I know people go, oh, they're gonna make a lot of money. Bruh, that's true, but that money wears off too after a certain time. I just don't see it. And it's Goodell's pipe dream.
Because imagine being 22 years old, being shipped over there, your mama's over here, everybody's over here, and then you're stuck in London.
Right. It's not even about London. It's about anywhere. I don't want to live in Germany playing football. I don't want to live in Spain, Portugal, France. Like the NFL Europe players that did it years ago, they did it because they needed that opportunity to get to the NFL, not because they wanted to just play over there. So, bro, let me tell you, am I biased? Probably so, because fuck Roger Goodell.
Come on.
Uh-oh.
He's a good guy.
He's a terrible booker. Horrible booking. The booking he does in football this year is terrible. I mean, bro, we supposed to believe that I can't. Do you want to go to this whole Taylor Swift bullshit?
All I wanted to say, Mike, was English football does not change their start times to accommodate what they want to, as they want to expand into our market with more visibility. I don't understand why we have to wake up early to watch when they're
you don't.
Right. It starts at 4 in the fucking morning or some shit.
Nobody's putting a gun to your head though, Doctor, to make you wake up.
But I gotta watch football. The Toy Story thing was clever. My kids liked it. They watched it. There you go. Now,
I got a problem with that too. That was a bunch of bookers who knew that shit wasn't ready for prime time, and they put it on TV, and it was all kind of glitches.
Right. It was an experiment. Yeah, they had glitches.
They had a lot of glitches.
The thing is, dude, you know what they should do? Make the players look like Blitz, bruh. Make it look like Blitz. Like that old PlayStation game.
Mm-hmm.
That would be badass. Not like fucking Andy's room. Fuck Andy's room.
Oh.
I mean, there's no crowd. It seems like it's weird because there's no crowd responding to what's going on.
So COVID's back.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of little Funko football players running around and like I'm watching a fucking video game. If you're going to do that, make it be like Blitz.
It would have been fine if not for the glitches. They kept panning out where you couldn't even see what was happening with the play.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
I like the little hook dropping the ball. I think that was
cool. As Slinky Dog being the marker was nice.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was cool too.
Okay, so the big thing is shifting from kids. Now we need to let Mike pick on women.
Whoa.
Mike's real hot about this Taylor Swift thing.
What do you have against? You're not a Swiftie, Michael?
Bruh. When I tune into football, all right, you want to show the celebrity once or twice, that's fine. Dude, they kept putting the camera on Taylor Swift. Like,
I wonder why.
Like, who cares? I'm watching a football game.
A lot of people care, dude. You see, you're preaching to the choir, bro. I understand she's like this generation's, whatever you want to call it, Madonna or whatever, female big star, but I just don't get how it's like she's Jesus walking into the fucking building.
Right.
She sold out the Superdome 3 nights in the fucking row, bruh. 3 nights in a row, the Superdome
Bone
sold
Thugs
out.
never did that.
Yeah, I mean, bruh. What the fuck? And these stupid little fucking basic bitch fucking, White Claw drinking fucking, fucking girl dinner bitches are just spending thousands of dollars to see Taylor Swift just sing.
I don't know one song that she sings.
I just know the stuff that she did when she was still country.
Oh.
But that's, I just don't get it, dude. I'm sorry. Lemmy can come back from the dead and Motorhead will be fucking playing. I will not pay that price to see of Lemmy's ghost and Motorhead in the Superdome. I'm sorry.
He's got a point, Mike. Now,
what the fuck?
You got to convince me. I know.
You got to be like, can Doja Cat get a booth too? I mean, you need equal time though, right, Mike?
Bruh, I don't really do concerts. Like that.
This isn't a concert. This is football ball.
Oh, you mean like have an artist at?
Yeah, up in the booth.
Okay. It could be my favorite artist. Bro, I don't care that much.
Cheerleaders. I don't need the band. I don't need a band at halftime. I don't need Toy Story. I need the product. The product sells itself.
Yeah, that's all you gotta, bro.
They go to that halftime shit at Jerry World, and they got some shitty band, and I'm like, look,
like Creed.
I'm gonna go on the other side of the house and down another beer alone for a few minutes and get my thoughts collected for the third quarter. How about that?
And it doesn't matter what team is playing. I have no emotional attachment to the Jets or Chiefs. Like none. And Sunday night, I had nuclear heat with the Chiefs for no reason other than I was tired of seeing Taylor Swift and by the way, I was tired of the refs just saying, nah, this ain't happening on Sunday night.
Boy.
The Jets ain't beating the Chiefs. We gonna make sure Mahomes wins. He ain't gonna cover the spread, but we gonna make sure Mahomes wins.
You know how I feel about New York, and even I felt bad for the Jets. Jesus.
Yeah.
Where they got screwed.
Here's the thing. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm putting out a Taylor Swift jersey and selling all of them to these ladies.
Oh, God.
They already got the Swifties jersey.
Okay. I'm doing that before Kelsey, gets tired of it and moves on.
And that's another thing. He's got a mustache. Aaron Rodgers has a mustache. When the fuck did mustaches come back in?
They didn't.
If you're famous and douchey enough, you can do what you want.
That's true, right?
Yeah. You got enough money, you could just do whatever.
You can grow a mullet and get face tattoos and shit and call yourself Jelly Roll.
Jesus. That.
Yeah.
How long is it before that guy's on WrestleMania?
I don't know who the fuck he is. I'm just tired of hearing about him. He's supposedly a country star. Who the fuck lied to you, bruh?
Harper gets protective about what's country.
Yeah, I do. Because I'm like Jim Cornette when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to shit like that, bruh.
Because wrestling, I mean, here's the thing about country music. Really traditional good country music is really good. And the bad shit is really bad.
It's real fucking bad. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's just, be on my tailgate. Don't be late. I got an ice cold Bud Light just right on a Mississippi Sunday night. Shut the fuck up, bruh. No one wants to hear this shit.
All right.
So, yeah, he's right. And so it's kind of like,
yeah,
you don't want that bad stuff touching your good stuff and being associated with it. Because it's not the same thing.
All the things on my plate touching.
That's right. That's a good way to live.
Yeah, and that's what I hate. I mean, bro, we talked about it before. Like, George Strait was real, bro. He's a real singing Texas cowboy.
He's the ketchup. These guys are the juice that comes out on your plate before the ketchup.
Yes.
and you just look at it.
Shit up.
You just look at it and go, ugh.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
water.
I got you.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, hey, football season is here. We're all living it. We're all loving it, and some of us are laughing about it. It is now in real life the month of October, which means pumpkins are going to start flying out of everybody's asses pretty soon.
Oh God, dude, they got eggnogs out now, bro.
Jesus Christ!
I know, bro. I couldn't believe that. Friday, I walk in there, I was like, "What the fuck is this, bro? Eggnog."
So
and it's like 95 degrees outside.
Shit, yeah, but Mike, did you see it finally, bro? It's gonna be like 70 on Saturday. I'm gonna go outside naked and just lay in the cool weather.
Praise the Lord! It'll be the first football game I've had this year outside that I'm not gonna be sweating my balls off.
Oh, you don't mean what? Yeah, you could get to go hang out in the chilly weather. That's nice for you.
Man, my wife was already like, I'm going to have to bring a sweater on Friday. I was like,
it's going to be chilly.
You can bring whatever the shit you want. I'm going to be out there in my drawers and a tank top.
For real.
My wrestling tights and my Mike Vick
right.
jersey.
Yeah.
That's right. Bro, I'm going to put on them boots and singlet, and I'm going to stand outside with my lawnmower. I'm going to have my wife take a picture.
In the fucking front lawn, you're going to start doing shoulder rolls.
No.
Your wife's going to be peeking through your window. What the fuck are you doing, Michael? I got to get ready, man, in case I get the call. You be doing shoulder rolls and back rolls and flip bumps.
I might get booked.
Yeah.
So, Harper, I've been telling Mike, and this is for I guess I'm going to talk to Harper, but I'm really talking to the entire Army here. I've been telling Mike he needs to watch that Netflix show, Wrestlers.
I watched the first episode last night.
Okay, I've watched the first 4 episodes. And here's what I think would be interesting. I think it would be interesting for Mike to compare the OVW mud show scene to the mud show scene he was in 25 years ago. And where they're the same and where they're different. And I'm going to say there's more the same than different.
What year is this OVW thing done?
It's like a year or 2 ago, huh?
Okay.
That's in the last year.
Well, because I saw one of the guys, he's this big, jacked up Indian guy. Trust me, he sticks out.
Oh, Mike, it's Malabar Shira from Impact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. And
he's their big champion now, and he's actually trying to really learn how to wrestle. And Al Snow's like investing in him, and he's like a super nice guy now.
So Al Snow was on commentary for a brief time at Impact when Mahabali Shira was there. So that kind of makes sense. I guess he kind of knew him from there.
Yeah.
They have an episode where they go to Harlan.
Oh
boy, that must be Bo James just told me stories about Harlan. Holy shit. Okay. But no, I mean, that sounds like a great Patreon episode right after we do the Bishop Sycamore one we got to do.
I finished Bishop Sycamore too, so whenever we can get together, we need to get together.
What's that?
Bishop Sycamore? BS High? You watched it, remember?
Oh, that's what it's... okay.
Yeah, remember? You said,
right, yeah.
You even texted me and messaged me. He was like, we got to do a Patreon episode on this shit. This guy's a fucking lunatic.
So we've got a backlog of material that we need to get to.
Yeah, we do.
When we're already going to start recording around Harper on Fridays to get ahead to accommodate your luxurious vacation schedule.
Yeah, and the Patreons. Any shitheads that won't even follow us on YouTube.
Or give us a 5-star review. It's been 2 months.
Jesus Christ.
It's not been 2 months. We had one last week.
Y'all listen to on YouTube. Y'all can't just on your phone. Come on.
Salty Harper is the best.
I'm just saying. It's just so guys. You know how much like I watch like Stevie's videos. Do I watch them all? No, but I subscribe because I know it fucking helps.
What does it help?
His fucking numbers look better, right, Mike? That's the whole
purpose
of it, right?
That's right.
That's why I fucking like it. I mean, I don't watch them all, but I subscribe, because I'm not a fucking asshole. Jesus Christ.
Salty Harper is the best Harper.
I'm just saying.
He's salty tonight, but let me help you out a little bit, Harper. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to take a little bit starch out of your jeans.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be the first time that this talk show format that we're about to review actually works.
Oh, really?
I may be changing my opinion on it.
I thought you were going to bring up the salt water coming up the river.
What? Oh, that's y'all's problems.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, Doc, you ready to do April 25th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, if this was it, they should have had this be the first talk show because they got some work done in this time.
What's on that guy's shirt on the back of it?
So I have no clue. That's from the pay-per-view. You've seen this a million times already. It looks
that's what I thought that was. Yeah.
I didn't even do this pay-per-view, and I feel like I've seen it because they keep going back to it all the time.
They sure do. All right. So this is WCW Saturday Night on TBS from April the 25th, 1992. Keep me honest, Doc. Third week of the talk show format. The talk show format really doesn't last long. I mean, Doc's complaining about it, but it really doesn't. Fourth week. I'm sorry.
It was Jesse and then Kip Allen and then Dusty and today holding number 73.
So the show intro, we have a replay of Super Brawl, the press conference, and a brawl that Nikita was involved in, seemingly helping out Sting. Jim Ross says, "We will find out tonight if Nikita's sickle was for Sting or Bobby Eaton." So more on that later. Jim Ross welcomes us in, tells us Sting has injured ribs. Sting is not expected back until May 17th, according to JR, when he hopefully will return at Wrestle War, the pay-per-view. So we got a few weeks before then. Become a patron, tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT, the only place you can listen to our review of that. Then JR welcomes in his guest co-host for this week, who is Bill Fralick from the Atlanta Falcons offensive line. And this dude has the personality of a pile of shit.
Come on.
Well, he's an offensive lineman. And my note here is they're not known for their great, outgoing personalities. But here's the thing. The material that they work with works around him this week. That's what I'm going to say. He's not great in this role at all. Don't get me wrong. And I know y'all are going to shit on him because he's a Falcon. But the show works. I'm just saying that. Harper.
He looks kind of thin to be an offensive lineman, doesn't he?
It's 1992, Harper.
It's the off season.
Oh.
And it's 1992.
What's his name again?
Bill Fralick. You don't remember him?
Jeez.
I think I do.
Yeah, I remember him playing for him. He was pretty good. I mean, he wasn't like all world or anything, but I remember him. From there, let me go back. From there, we're going to go to Barry Windham and Steve Austin and Paul Lee cutting some promos. Here that is.
Barry Windham will challenge stunning Steve Austin. Let's hear comments from both competitors.
Steve Austin, you've become a puppet of Paul Lee Dangerously and the Dangerous Alliance. Now, you stepped into a situation when my hand was crushed in the car door, and you were there at the wrong time because Paul Lee Dangerously set the whole thing up. Now, tonight, I am going to give you the wrestling lesson of your life, and that World Television Championship that you cherish so very much is going to be mine because I have set a goal for myself, and I'm going to destroy the Dangerous Alliance.
Tonight, right here on WCW Saturday Night, it's time for Barry Windham to finally learn his lesson. The Dangerous Alliance has toyed with you and toyed with you and toyed with you, and tonight, Stunning Steve Austin, 2 out of 3 falls, is going to finish off the job.
You know, I told the world a few weeks ago that I would be the greatest world television champion ever, and that I am the best wrestler on TV today. And Barry Windham, I'm going to prove that to you not once, but twice. You'll see.
Both those men are ready. You'll see that.
Doc, any thoughts on the promos there?
Not great, but I'm ready for this match. I do need you to wind that back 10 seconds, and I have something. I don't know what it is, but I need to hear audio from JR at 2:58.
Okay, I was actually going to keep playing it too. So let me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it from the time Freilich and JR start talking. Hold on. All right, here we go.
Match right here from our studios here a little bit later in the hour. Bill, the Falcons had a great year last year. They went to the playoffs. You won your first round game against the New Orleans Saints. This year, you'll be competing in the new Georgia Dome, right beside the Omni, the home of WCW. But how do you see the football forecast for this season?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, we're coming off a great year, and I'd like to think we're going to have an even better one next year. But we got a lot of unsettled situations right now. You got Deion Sanders contemplating baseball and other things, and you know, right now my situation is unclear too. I've got a contract that I've got to settle with the Falcons, and one of the reasons I'm here, to tell you the truth, is to explore the option of wrestling here at WCW.
Very big news. You're seriously considering wrestling in WCW if things don't work out for the Falcons?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not necessarily if they do work out with the Falcons. I'm just exploring all my options. I think the thing with professional wrestling and professional football is such that, hey, you've got to be big, strong, fast, and aggressive, and I think those qualities have made me a good professional football player, and I think they'll also make me a good professional wrestler if I choose to do that.
This fall, he could be competing in the Georgia Dome, or he could be competing right next door in the Omni. Fans, we're going to be back. We'll take a look at Scotty Flamingo next on WCW Saturday Night.
All right, he's talking about the 1991 season. The Saints won.
Yeah, what happened to y'all?
The division that year.
That, man.
I do too.
Shit.
The Saints won the first game that year. They blew them out, and then they played on Sunday Night Football later in the year. The Falcons won, I think, in overtime, kicking a field goal, and then they went to the playoffs. The division winners versus the wild card, and they lost to the Falcons in the playoffs.
It was in the Superdome, wasn't it?
It was in the Superdome because, let me tell you, Bobby Hebert,
right?
Yeah. Bobby Hebert had nothing but playoff debacles as a Saints quarterback, and everybody forgets that. He was terrible. Lost all 3 of the playoff games he started. Anyway, so that's what he's talking about there. I remember that well. I was at that playoff game, matter of fact.
Damn. How much were those tickets?
I don't know. It was 1991. It couldn't have been that much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that was the whole cha-ching year, huh? Cha-ching.
I don't know if that was that year.
Cha-ching.
You're going to have to explain what you mean by that, because there are people listening to that going, is he making an Asian joke that's inappropriate?
That's nice.
I'm just saying.
That. You know how you think about Europeans.
Well, Seth
Green.
What's his name? Seth Green had this commercial, and they played it in New Orleans nonstop back before he was a star.
Commercial.
It was a Rally's commercial. And in the commercial, I think they were promoting like Rally's like 79-cent burgers.
They were like, I think they were promoting like, you know, the combo meal. And the guy would say, give me a hamburger. He would go, cha-ching.
Cha-ching, yeah.
Give me a side of fries. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Give me a Coke. Cha-ching.
Right.
So look, everyone used to walk around and just say cha-ching from that stupid commercial, and somehow the Saints, it had something to do with the Saints, where people were going cha-ching, like every time the Saints would win.
Right.
It was on T-shirts. It was fucking everywhere. Cha-ching, who that? Whatever.
It's the weirdest damn thing. They brought him in for a game.
Yeah.
To lead a cha-ching chant.
No wonder y'all were losing to the Falcons.
Hey.
They had a good year that year. They just, Bobby Hebert just decided to just.
5-1 or something.
They started.
Their first loss was
to
against
the Bears
Raiders on a Monday Night Football game.
It was the Bears.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think they started 7-0. They lost to the Bears. And then they ended up going 11-5, I think. Look it up. Fact check me. Anyway, why did you get us on that topic? Let's keep going.
I just thought it was interesting that they let Bill Fralick come on and just talk about beating the Saints.
Okay, he didn't talk about just beating the Saints. First, let's go to the next thing. What's wrong?
Well, he died.
Oh, well, thoughts and prayers, dog.
Yeah, Bill Fralick died?
Yeah. He was only like 56, too.
Oh,
That's
shit.
not
That's
old
terrible.
enough.
Yeah.
You got to be minimum 76 at this point, man, or else I start getting scared.
I used to think like that, but fuck.
That's not a long
You ready
time.
now?
No.
I know people my age who just drop dead of heart attacks all of a sudden. And
They got that. Is that because they try experimental medicine that's been foisted upon us?
I don't know. It's just scary. I know 3 friends of mine in their 40s who were in good health. He's dead. He had a heart attack. What?
Yeah.
What the fuck you talking about? Had a heart
Yeah.
attack.
Yep. All right, let's keep going. I'm not.
Thoughts and prayers.
This ain't fucking Mad Men, bro. What the fuck?
Right. Let's keep going. I do this show to have a good time, not to get depressed, thinking about I'm gonna die tomorrow. Okay. Fuck. Well, we're not done with promos. Before we go to the next match, which is Scotty Flamingo versus Firebreaker Chip, let's hear from Scotty Flamingo, aka Raven.
Light heavyweights in action, Scotty Flamingo and Firebreaker Chip in one-on-one competition. But before we go to the ring, I want you to hear some comments made earlier today by Scotty Flamingo. And Bill, what is your impressions of this young man?
Well, I'll tell you what, he reminds me a lot of my teammate, Deion Sanders. When he came out of college a couple years ago, he talked a lot and said he was going to do all this. Well, he's done everything that he said he was going to do. Scotty remains to be seen. He's got the talk, but does he have the walk?
He's a great athlete. At least he says he's going to be the next light heavyweight champion. This should be an outstanding contest, and we'll go to the ring. But first, these comments.
Well, 21 years old, from Palm Beach, Florida, incredibly, or should I say, filthy rich parents, graduated University of Miami, pre-law degree, business degree. Never worked a day in my life, and I don't think I ever would. In fact, I know I never would. Now, the point is, a lot of people are saying, well, you're spoiled rotten, never worked a day in your life. Can you take it in the ring? Well, don't misunderstand me. There ain't a wrestler out there that I can't take their cranium and turn it into a flower pot. Because I'm Scotty Flamingo, the fresh thing in town. Listen to this rhyme, because I'm gonna throw down if you don't like me and you feel kind of froggy. Jump in my face, I'll leave you groggy.
There's not a wrestler out there I can't turn his cranium into a flower pot. All right.
I like Raven a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, he's in great shape, though.
Yeah.
That's Firebreaker Chip. Yeah.
I still, every time I see this dude talk in this gimmick, I'm like, that's Raven.
Yeah.
The transformation is amazing.
So I remember him in the WWE when he was the manager.
Johnny Polo?
Yeah, and I remember I think him and Gorilla Monsoon used to do a Saturday morning show, something where if his guy lost, he had to shave his goatee off, and his guy lost, so they just covered his chin with so much shaving cream. And when he starts shaving, there's just nothing. Where it's obvious he already shaved it off. But to try to hide it, they just covered it with a shitload of shaving cream.
That sounds like great TV.
Yeah. I remember being like 15, 16 years old. I was like, wait, the goatee's already gone. What the fuck are they doing?
Do you think this was the one and only time that Raven was compared to Deion Sanders?
Yes.
I caught that too. I was like, are you serious?
Too legit to quit. Hey, too legit. Remember that? Too legit to quit.
I remember
was the
his
year.
own.
91 was the year.
I remember his own song. Must be the money. Remember that one, Mike?
I sure do.
Boy, when you think times are ignorant today, you can go back and see that people have always been stupid.
Yeah. No, I think older people are always hypocritical of like the younger generation.
We think the world's going to hell in a handbasket, but it's statistically more safe to be alive right now than at any other time in human history.
Yeah, it's
that
very...
may be not true for our kids or grandkids, but we'll worry about that a little bit later.
Yeah, well, it's just that you get older and you think like, I mean, like I hear, right? Me and my wife were having this conversation. My daughter shows me this text message with her and her dance team buddies. Dude, there's not one period in this text chain, and it's a bunch of abbreviations. I'm literally sitting there trying to figure out where one thought stops and the other begins. And I'm like, do y'all not use any form of punctuation ever? And let me explain something. I'm not some grammar person where I'm like, gotta have a comma, gotta have a period, gotta, make sure you use the proper pronunciation. That ain't punctuation. That's not me. But I'm reading this. I'm like, I look at my daughter and go, what the piss does this say? And she looked at me to steal a cornet term like I had a turd hanging out of my mouth. Like, how could you not know what that says? It's in English. I'm like, every word is damn near abbreviated. The abbreviation makes no sense. There's no punctuation. How am I supposed to figure this out? So anyway, and everything is always a freaking fire to them. Oh, everything's a fire. And I'm just like, man, I think we would.
Fire. What's that mean?
Like
everything is over.
Everything's over. Like, what's the word I'm looking for, Doc?
Over exaggerated?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything is just like the end of the world to them. And I'm like, you know what, bro? We were emotional like that too. We just didn't have text messages and cell phones.
No. You just had a 77
100%.
Skylark and you were stuck working at Burger King.
I mean, like, we left our house and whatever boys we was with, that's who we was going to talk to that night. Unless we just so happen to run to one of our other boys.
That's true, huh?
Because
but what once you left your house, you were cut off from everyone.
Bro, and you know what? That was a glorious thing.
Yeah.
It really was. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, the world, how do we get to this topic? The world is not going to hell. It just seems like it sometimes. All right, Doc, what do you have from Flamingo and Firebreaker Chip looks great. Man, he's in good shape.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Look at
he's
him.
in good shape. They had a quick little match, maybe like, I don't know, it wasn't long, couple, 3-4 minutes.
Who's Raven going to feud with here?
Who does he feud with? I know. Look, here's a spoiler. Close your ears. He's going to win the light heavyweight title.
Is it John B. Bad?
I just can't remember who has it when he first wins it. I don't know if it's Pillman or it's got to be Pillman that has it when he wins it. But that's his first, like, I guess, quote unquote feud. What else you got from this one?
I like that his finisher is a pile driver. That's a light heavyweight.
Who's a light heavyweight?
Polo.
What?
Raven.
What do you mean that's a light heavyweight?
His finisher is a pile driver.
Okay, why did you say that's a light heavyweight?
He's a light heavyweight.
Sarcastic.
Jesus.
Michael, sound it out. Sound it out.
Sound it out.
Fucking carry the one, bro. Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Scotty Flamingo, a.k.a. Raven, wins. Any other thoughts, Doc?
No, it's all right. This one went a while, I think. But when you got a 40-minute show, we're 11 minutes in.
So then we go to the WCW magazine segment for the week with Eric Bischoff. Bischoff talks about Van Vader injuring Sting's ribs, and they speculate if Sting will be able to go at War Games on May the 17th. We do get some comments from Vader. Did you have anything from that, Doc? I didn't, but I wanted to ask you before I keep going. It was pretty meat and potatoes.
That tie looked horrible.
What tie?
The tie he's wearing. Yeah.
Ration played Harper here.
Yeah, listen to him. Any thoughts on Vader,
Where's the last
Doc?
time you wore Where's the last time you wore a necktie?
Fuck, I used to wear one every day, bro.
God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
used to dress like I was Michael Scott when I would drive around doing the shoot job to get people to answer the door when I knock on the door to look more presentable.
I got to take a screenshot of this. Look at Vader's face.
2 in a pink and 2 in a steak.
Look at that. You got to become a patron so you can see what we're talking about. Vader's face right here is a bazillion times better than this promo was.
Oh, Lord, scissor me, Daddy.
Oh,
that's exactly. Oh, man. Look at that face. All right, Doc, any thoughts on Vader?
No.
Look at it. He holds it for like 3 seconds.
I want to get away from him before he catches me and tries to sodomize me.
Come here, boy.
Oh, man. Anyway, he talks.
Oh, God. That looked worse.
Yeah.
I wait for him to go.
Stop. After Vader's meat and potatoes promo, talking about Sting, we then go to Greg Valentine and Terry Taylor. Any thoughts from this, Doc? More meat and potatoes.
No.
Nothing much.
There's no reason for this.
There really wasn't.
This green screen. It's really kind of pissing me off.
Well, this match with the Freebirds and Taylor and Valentine is like football in London. Nobody's asking for this.
I don't know how much longer the Freebirds got, man.
Yeah, for real.
Because
really,
I think Bill Watts. I think when Watts comes in, I want to say, not sure how much long after, but I think.
Now, are you going to defend Watts' bullshit because you're a homer for Mid-South, or are you going to cut it down the middle?
Man, you know my feelings on Watts. Good booker, good promoter, bad human being. That summarizes it well.
For the Hank Aaron thing?
I mean, the Hank Aaron thing,
What if he's grown and learned from that?
Yeah, what if he had learned from his mistakes?
Bruh, he can learn all he wants. It doesn't mean I want to socialize with him. I'm not saying he needs to be, pissed on and had his head chopped off. I'm just saying I wouldn't want to socialize with him.
What if he goes to sensitivity training? Because that just wipes
come
the slate
on,
clean.
man.
And come on.
It should.
It should, Michael.
Bill Watts at his age is not going to sensitivity training.
You shouldn't judge people.
Right. Hey, bro, I'm not saying he needs to be put in jail. I'm just saying I don't want nothing to do with it.
If you got him on the show and you ask him how he feels about hiding, how he thinks the good book is going to help him, or let's see, how long will the Lord take to judge you for letting Grizzly Smith do unspeakable things to people? How long would it take him to find the hang up button on you? Just click.
Right. He'd forget all about Jesus and God like immediately. Bro, I listened to his interview on Bradshaw and or Briscoe and Bradshaw. Jesus Lord, I was so tired of hearing about God.
Oh, really?
How God said it, bro.
These motherfuckers.
Oh, it's terrible, Harper. I say that as a believer in God. Let me be clear. For people who
look, bro, I believe in God too. I just don't want anything being pushed on me.
That's me.
What about ass?
Well, ass and racks. I don't want religion. I don't care if you're vegan. Try it. Right? Like, no, I don't want to try it. I don't. Fuck you. You eat it. Don't push that shit on me. Don't push nothing on me. Nothing. Leave me the fuck alone.
How about a free beer and some titties in my face? Other than that, leave me alone.
Yeah.
100%. I don't want nothing pushed on me except for a rack and ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he
can't.
speaks for all of us here.
Oh God.
Anyway, Watts
I
was.
mean, it tastes the same. I don't give a fuck. You eat it.
We all come together over that. I mean, both sides of the aisle. Can't we all agree with what
Bruh.
Harper just said?
Yeah, don't push nothing on me. Nothing.
Dude,
I don't care
he
about
went
you
on
Jesus,
and on.
or what you love is love, or vegan. Leave me alone, bro. I'm doing my thing, not bothering anybody.
Well, he went on and on this show, and I just was like, oh my God, I can't. Everything was about being saved, and once again,
oh my God,
once again,
I always hate that term. What was it when I found Jesus? I didn't know he was missing, motherfucker. What? You found what? What? He's got a fucking GPS tracker on him, and you finally found him? I just never got that shit.
He went the wrong way out the door and ended up out behind the building.
Yeah. He's like a dog that got loose. You're like, oh, Jesus! Jesus! I just...
my biggest
Where's
problem.
Your father? He's out trying to find.
I never got the term God-fearing man. Why would you fear God, bruh? Why?
Well, that's probably Old Testament God.
I don't know. Oh, you see, I like the Old Testament too, because their stuff sounded so much better back then.
What, like slaves and raping people?
No, like the band.
Oh,
come on, Doc. Come on.
Yo,
I like Old Testament too.
Yeah.
Harper killed me tonight. What do you mean he's saved? Was he lost? Where did he go?
Yeah, I found Jesus. So what do you use one of them? What do you call it? When a kid goes missing?
Amber Alert.
Yeah, a freaking Amber Alert went off. Jesus is missing. He was last seen in a 2003 Dodge Caravan.
Turning water. You turned into water into wine in the seventh ward.
This is why we can't keep listeners. They call us goofs because
No. This is why we have the best listeners, because there's a bunch of people laughing along with us right now.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jesus too, bro. You know, I'm Catholic. I do the whole, but I'm just don't push shit on me, bro. I tell you, the perfect example was over the summer, right? When LSU won the College World Series in Omaha against Florida, and then the LSU fans just took over Omaha, and they showed this bar full of LSU fans just LSU doing that thing, doing the shots, and I'm an LSU fan. I'm sitting there looking at that. I was like, I wouldn't want to be there right now. That looks like hell. I wouldn't want to. Fuck that. I mean, it was just too much.
Over the top.
Harper.
Yeah.
Over the top.
Over the top, bro.
Yeah. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
I can't stand that shit. You
Well,
found Jesus. Where? Between a sofa cushion?
Oh, man. My biggest problem, and then we'll move on, is a lot of those people, and I've had this experience in my life, were foul for years and did horrible things, cheated on their spouse, did other things that are very un-Catholic, as Harper likes to say, and then they judge people once they are quote-unquote saved. Well, guess what? You're not like Jesus if you're judging.
That's what happens, Mike, when you find the glory of the everlasting redemptive power of Jesus' blood.
Well, Bill Watts needs to go unfind him if that's how he's going to be, okay?
And it's the I'm a reborn Christian. Look, just say, look, you know, I've left, I like lived a shitty life, and I'm kind of, you know, I'm going back to my roots and to you know, being Catholic.
And blame it all on your boots.
Yeah, I mean, just say that. Don't say you're reborn and all that. It's like if you're fat and you start going back to the gym. Don't say I'm a reborn gym rat.
Here's what I hate.
I got fat and it was getting so bad, so I had to start going back to the gym again. That's what you say. Don't say
here's what I hate. Wrestlers do this worse than the Gen Pop because they know how to cut a promo. When you get saved, all of a sudden your vocabulary elevates to this level of not how real people talk, like you're better than everybody else. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That don't work for me. Talk like a real human.
You just say, look, yeah, bro, I straightened up and I started going to church on Sunday. That's it.
Yeah.
In the
Hey, man, it's been good.
Yeah.
Don't start trying to selling me and talking me into the building because I'm not going to the building.
Bro, I am not going. Sundays is for football. Sorry.
I made a joke about that.
That's my church, dog. My church is on this sofa watching a 75-inch Sony watching the Saints. That's my Saints.
I made a joke
at the bar. I'm sorry,
I made a joke about that on Facebook about a month ago, and I literally told the Catholic priest that I was like, I can't go to church Sunday. I got football to watch, and man, he looked at me like I was the devil. And then I said I was a little bit more tactful than Harper. Harper would just tell the priest, "Nah, bro, I got shit to do.
Hey, look,
I can't come to
Saints
church."
are playing Atlanta. We're tied with them for the fucking division. I can't miss this, but peace be with you. Fuck.
Okay, let's keep going. Get back to the wrestling. We're still in the WCW magazine segment with Eric Bischoff. And in the middle of this segment, remember that DDP situation?
No.
Well, more on the...
Right, yeah.
Yeah, about him being...
something, right?
That's right. Let's hear more about that.
Last week, Jim Ross caught up with Diamond Dallas Page and tried to get his reaction to the fact that Page was banned from making any comments directly related to WCW policy. Well, Page's mouth got him into trouble again. As a result, he has been banned from any televised appearances outside of the wrestling ring by K. Allen Fry. Now, our cameras were on hand when Page received notification of this development. Now, this footage has been cleared for broadcast by WCW Executive Vice President K. Allen Fry.
What? What? K. Allen Fry says I can't be on TV. You, this K. Allen Fry, you gotta be crazy. Right? You can't get me on the TV.
The most dangerous mouth in WCW reduced to a test pattern tone. Music to my ears. Well, before we leave...
Oh, my God. They should have done that with him walking into the building with his bags. And their security comes up and says, "Sir, Mr. Page, you can't come in here."
Yeah, but that was funny. That was funny. For 1992?
Yeah.
That was funny. But Harper's right. They would have been more impactful.
Sure.
That's the thing. He's banned from TV appearances. So he can still wrestle and be at a building, but he's banned from TV appearances.
Wait, so he can work a dark match. He just can't be on TV, basically.
Yeah, that's the way they kind of word it.
So what the come on, bro. Okay.
Bro, it's dumb because once again, what is the payoff with the DDP K. Allen Fry feud? There is none.
Cage match.
Yeah.
There is none.
Match. Falls count everywhere.
But that was hilarious. DDP throwing a fit. All right. The only other thing they show in the magazine segment was Steve Austin's. He got a fan question asking him, "Why don't you leave the Dangerous Alliance?" And he basically summed it up saying that was a stupid question. What were your thoughts?
He did. That was funny.
Yeah. From there, well, it's the big interview segment of this week's talk show format. Nikita Koloff. So Nikita comes out, and Doc, this thing's like 10 minutes long, so I'm just going to kind of summarize what happens here. So they go over Nikita's actions over the last several months, and maybe even longer than months ago, further back than that, including when he attacked Luger, and then he buries Lex Luger.
He buried the shit out of Luger.
He buries Luger. I'm trying to get to it because I think I can at least play that. Basically, it's pretty. Hold on, here it is. Let's go to it.
What, in the eyes of many, a cheap shot. on then the United States champion?
Good grief, what's
Well,
he doing?
as though there were many out there who were booing me, there were many more, Jim Ross, who were cheering me. Because I've got to believe those people who were cheering me knew what I knew about Lex Luger, and that was that he didn't care about signing the fans' autographs. He didn't care about shaking the fans' hands. He cared about one thing and one thing only, and that was he cared about himself.
Well, I can understand that point, and I can certainly agree with that. But then at the very first Super Brawl, that was...
All right, so that's when Luger was, I think he was U.S. champ at the time, and Nikita comes out and, he sneaks Luger. That's when he came back a while back. So what I thought is funny about that is Luger was a babyface, and he was getting cheered, and Nikita was getting booed, but they really positioned it right there where it was like, no, they really hated him, and people were cheering me, but they weren't really cheering Nikita. That was just a dig at Luger. Did you take it that way, the same way, Doc? It sounded like you did.
Yes.
Yes, that was definitely a dig at because he hit the road.
Yeah. And he's no longer there, so of course, yeah.
Right, you're right. So, let's get our little dig in.
Yeah, so that, and again, this is over a year ago, as you can see, because this is from Super Bowl 91, the next clip they show. So,
the accent kind of faded away, huh?
It did.
Yeah.
He's speaking some strong English.
Right. So then Jim Ross questions Nikita about just disappearing, and Nikita says, and I quote, "I left to go home to Lithuania because we were fighting for our freedom there." So that's the excuse they use for Nikita leaving.
There is nobody listening to that would have fact checked that or knew how.
How the hell were they?
And they probably never even heard of Lithuania.
Right.
Right.
Shit,
I thought he was Russian.
Right. Well, that's where Dr. Doom's from, right? Lithuania.
That's where Dracula's from. Oh no,
yeah,
Transylvania.
Yeah, that's where Dracula's from, right? I wonder if Keanu Reeves fighting Dracula.
So then Nikita says, after he talks about going home to Lithuania and fighting for his country's, quote unquote, his country's freedom, Nikita says he's sorry for attacking Sting at the Clash of Champions in Knoxville when he attacked him and scaring that poor kid. If you remember, there was a kid in the audience. And
see, look, he can, you can forgive Nikita. You can forgive someone else.
Nikita says, actually, me and that kid are friends. I've been in Knoxville and I've talked to him and we're friends now. And then he finally reveals at the very end of this, again, almost a 10-minute long sit-down interview, he says, the reason I showed up at Super Brawl this year, 1992, when he was seen at the press conference and fighting, the reason I showed up was because I wanted to talk to Sting. And he said because of the Dangerous Alliance, I guess, interfering and messing with Sting in the press conference, he still has not had a chance to talk to Sting. And now that Sting is injured, he still hasn't seen Sting. So I guess Sting doesn't have a phone. But Nikita does say and tell Sting, hey, I'm just a phone call away. And if you need me, I'm here for you. And yeah, please call me, Sting, so we can talk. Last thing they do before I throw it to Doc and get his thoughts on this is they bring a young girl out on stage. Nikita asked her who her favorite wrestler is. She says, my favorite wrestler is Sting. And Nikita says, yeah, my favorite too. Lastly, he tells K. Allen Fry, anytime, anywhere, Nikita will sign on a dotted line to meet Big Van Vader. So, Doc, your thoughts on rather lengthy interview, but we did get some answers to all of our questions here. What did you think about all this?
I'm going to tell you right now, that's what this format should do. I thought he did it well. I think that was the best segment that we've had in the 4 weeks of doing this. I think it's one of the better segments Nikita's ever been involved with. I thought he was great here.
I mean, Harper, you only heard a portion of it, but what did you think?
I mean, this looks good. Wait. She only has half the pay. About a forehead.
Well, she doesn't want to get her hair all messed up.
Well, that's her problem, girl. Do the whole
okay,
thing
Harper.
or nothing.
Harper, this is like an 8-year-old child. Can we stop?
That's her problem, not mine.
Jesus Lord. Can you stay focused? Any thoughts on the segment overall?
Dude, this is like Popeyes and Pals, Mike.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. What's your name, Samantha? Where you go to school at? St. Anne's? Do you like school? Do you like
making him seem like a good guy?
Yeah.
He realized that when he almost hit a kid, he had a change of thought, a change of character. It hit him. He's saved now by the precious blood of the Lamb.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And he's ready to do good. This is wrestling.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy who had a come to Jesus time.
That's right. When he was in Lithuania.
Freedom fighting.
Fighting Dracula.
David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Moving right along. So again, decent little segment, probably the best one they've done so far. Sting tells a good story. He buries Luger, who's no longer with the promotion. Says he's here to talk to Sting. Also says, I want to have a word with K. Allen Fry because I'll put my name on a dotted line to go up against Vader. But Sting, give me a call. So stay tuned and let's see what happens there with those two.
Pop off your rats and give me a call.
For real. The next thing we do is we are thrown to a match between Arn Anderson and Larry Santo. Not a very long one. Arn had Santo in an armbar for a long time. That was my main note. And he's going to end up winning with a spine buster. Doc, any thoughts on this one?
Man, I started thinking about this. It's weird to think Arn only has like 3 or 4 years left in the ring at this point.
That's crazy, huh? Yeah, that's right.
That's a crime.
That's insane. You're right, because he's not. Yeah. I mean, when the Monday Night Wars start, that's basically. He's nearing the end right there.
Right.
Damn.
That's depressing. Yeah. But here's what's not depressing is that spine buster right there. And let me tell you something. That shit is like AC/DC or Tom Petty on the radio. I never get tired of it.
Look at how he plants him.
It's that left hip that he throws up in the air to drive it. It's just turn and drive.
Let me tell you something. Larry Santo took that perfect too. Larry Santo made that look even better. Because he gets up on Arn. Arn holds him up, turns him, and Larry, he lands perfect. Great looking spine buster. And it never gets old. You're absolutely right. All right, Doc. So let's go now to the main event of this week's show. It is 2 out of 3 falls, Barry Windham versus Steve Austin. The problem is, after the intro, they only have like 9 minutes left of TV time left in the show. So I was like, there's no way they're going to get this all in.
I was really confused because I was conflicted because I was like, dude, this is almost over. But I kind of want to watch the match. But I kind of want to be done watching wrestling.
Yeah, but it was quick. I mean, you could watch it and it didn't.
But I wanted it to come to some form of conclusion. I mean.
But that's what I'm saying. By the time they started, they had like 9 minutes. Right. I mean, there was no, they really didn't have time to do anything. They definitely didn't have time for a 2 out of 3 falls. But no. That said, so the crowd was really into this. They were loud. There were lots of Barry chants, lots of Paulie suck chants. I mean, they were into this. Now, I do have a couple of timestamps. Again, not a ton because there's not much wrestling here. But I have one that was really good at 33:05. But, Doc, did you have any before I go to that one?
I'm just going to start at the beginning by saying if you think Freilich was bad at the talk show format, he's really bad on color.
No,
his voice sounds like the general buzz in the crowd, so you can't really hear him.
He's a monotoned.
He sucks.
Yeah, but it's also the same pitch as just the general background noise of the crowd.
It's he's very monotone. He's like, yeah, you know, we got Austin here. Look at that headlock takeover. He looks good. He's cinching it in. Let me go now to some audio, and we're gonna watch it too. Obviously, Patreon, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Austin is gonna get Barry in the head scissors. So just listen and watch this.
Headlock takeover, and Austin counters into the head scissors. Fans complaining that Austin pulled the hair that time. Trying to find a way from this headset. Windham with a big-time right hand.
Remember when you could just do things like that and get a reaction from the crowd and not do a fucking 560 flip off the top rope and break your freaking neck and ankle and everything all in one?
Good, man.
That was my timestamp from this match as well. And that looks better than anything that you will see on any program of current wrestling that you watch this week, because it was athletic looking. He looked like he had a struggle to get out of a hold, and then he looked like he knocked the shit out of somebody. And oh, by the way, he didn't hurt him at all.
And he sold it.
It was great. It was freaking great. Austin rolls out of the ring. He got hit so hard. He's like, I need a timeout. Then he's calling Paulie, come check my nose. It's great. Just great. Again, it ain't that hard, man. You don't have to. It ain't
that hard.
No, it's not that hard. So from there, not long after that, though, Austin gets back in the ring and gets back on the offensive, and Steve Austin ends up catching Barry Windham with an elbow. Windham bumps. Austin then goes for a suplex, but Windham blocks it and suplexes Austin, and Windham then pins Austin to win the first fall.
Damn.
So the first fall is relatively quick. So then I'm like, I don't know, maybe we do get at least two in here, and who knows? We'll have to see. But they worked a semi-fast pace. Everything looked good. Lots of good bumps. Just real good stuff. So, Doc, any thoughts before I continue?
Yeah, these guys are getting after it. It's exactly what you would expect it to be, and the crowd's coming with it.
Totally agree. By the way, just a comment. Jim Ross, I love what he's doing here. Sting's hurt, but they aren't really giving a ton of information out about the injury. So what does JR do during commentary? If you call the hotline, make sure you give it a call. I'm going to be giving updates on Sting's injury.
Carney,
that's nice.
And I'm sure.
Hey, if he's got
Oren,
broken ribs, I need to start the countdown on when he's going to defend in the next 30 days.
Great point. Let's call Luke Hawks. Didn't he used to steal his neighbor's cordless phone and call the hotline?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should get him on the phone and see if he called and what kind of update we got from Sting back then.
I sure hope Sting's okay.
Oh man. All right. So they work their tails off, and then they work towards fall number 2. With fall number 2, here's what happens. The second fall never happens. They do a ton of false finishes as TV time is about to expire, and we get a bunch of 2 and 3/4 counts on Austin, but Austin keeps on kicking out and gets his feet in the ropes on one of them. Neither guy gets the fall, and because we ran out of time, Austin ends up retaining the TV title. So, like I said, a bunch of false finishes, but the false finishes were the finish because we ran out of TV time.
Is it still is it still the NWA TV title? Because that belt looks the same.
It is the same belt, but it's a WCW TV title.
Yeah.
All right. Doc, any thoughts on this?
I thought the booking was goofy. It was a hat on a hat kind of thing where it's like, dude, if you want him escaping with the time limit, then we don't need 3 falls to do that.
That's
World
the problem
used
when
to
you
do that well.
That's the problem when you shoehorn in 2 out of 3 falls every.
Shit.
Yeah, when you make it a 2 out of 3 falls every single week, that's the problem.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd had to cut out all the stuff at the beginning of this and just had them do, from the 15-minute mark on, just almost the whole episode would have been a 2 out of 3 falls. But not what happened. So there it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe Barry and Austin, I don't know if it's next week, I can't remember, they are going to have a 2 out of 3 falls match that will be 2 out of 3 falls, where TV time does not save Austin or Barry, either one of them, I should say. But that's kind of how they go off air. Jim Ross is going to wrap up the show with Bill Fralick, who continues to be completely boring, and I don't think he needs a whole lot of work if he's going to be in the wrestling business, because he has no personality for pro wrestling. I'm sure
he's going to be better than next week's host.
Who's next week's host? You want to spoil us?
Do it. Oh, from the Wonder Years.
So irritating.
And
I've been watching that lately.
It's 85 minutes of Herbie.
Yeah, of Herbie.
Is he still with Missy?
I don't like to think about that.
Oh.
If you have the answer to that, make sure you DM Hardbody Harper.
Yeah, do
and
it.
let him know.
He
loves hearing the answers that he loves hearing the answers to the questions he asked that he does not want the answers to. Oh man, all right. So again, that's how they go off air. We do have to rate it and hand out some Rolexes this week. Before we do so, no new patrons this week, but if you want to get access to all those pay-per-views and clashes and all that good stuff, become a patron at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. It's the only place to access all of the Clash of the Champions that we've done thus far, which is 18, I believe, and all the WCW pay-per-views that we've done dating back to 1988. So tons are available on Patreon. Plus, if you've never heard our reviews of Tales from the Territories, along with the Dark Side of the Ring episodes, all of those are available on Patreon as well, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. And like we said earlier, we got a ton of stuff we got to get up on Patreon, like the BS High, Bishop Sycamore documentary, and then I'm eventually going to get that Netflix OVW thing watched. Doc's got it watched. Harper seen one episode. We're going to do something on all that, and it will only be available on Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. All right, Doc, it is time to rate it and hand out some Rolexes. You go first. What are you going to rate this week's episode?
41 minutes. Best talk show segment with Nikita. Best Nikita segment. The main event was main event quality. I'll overlook a few things. I'm going to give this an A-.
Ooh, A-. I think I'm right there with you. I want to say I'm going to go A- as well.
Man, this talk show format's picking up. This wasn't that bad, Harper.
Yeah, I'll give it an A. It's 41 seconds. I mean, minutes. Yeah, 41 minutes. Perfecto.
All right. Yeah. So is there any doubt? I mean, I guess there could be some doubt. I was going to go with Nikita for my Toot Toot Award, I should say, not Rolex. Flair's not here. I was going to go with Nikita. Doc, who are you going to go with?
Man, I'd love to give it to Barry for that pop, and I'd love to give it to Vader for Scissor and everybody.
Boy, that was something.
Yeah.
Fist in the pink and fist in the
Going to hell.
Scissor
me, Daddy Vader.
Come on. I got to give it to Nikita for sure. His English is incredible.
Yeah. I think he must have got Rosetta Stone or started watching more American TV.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean,
he started watching Perfect Strangers, and now his English is
yeah.
Balky.
He started watching TGIF. He said, "Don't be ridiculous." Remember that?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Jacksonville's playing in London again this week.
Yeah.
They're playing multiple games. They're not only playing in London this year, they're playing not Jacksonville, but the NFL has games in Germany as well.
I mean, I could see someone like that's in a military station in Germany, but dude, no, bro. No.
Right, you didn't sign up for it.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Vader signed up for, what did you call it, Harper?
2 in the pink and 2 in the stink.
Jesus.
That face.
Why is it so violent?
Because, I mean, look at him. He's like, come
Dude,
here.
Jaworski's going to pause it on this and beat off to that right there. That's what's sad.
Why?
You know, this episode should have got an A+ because there was no Z-Man.
Come on, leave the Z-Man alone.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It looks like Danny DeVito when he's the Penguin in the second Batman movie.
All right. One other thing before I throw it to Harper and Doc to see if they got anything else. Harper is still doing his life advice, relationship advice, and video shout-outs. All you got to do is email him to chrisharper16@wildcat@gmail.com. That's chrisharper16wildcat with a K at gmail.com, and then PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc at yahoo.com. If you missed any of that, just hit rewind and listen back for his email, or check the show description, which does have his email and PayPal address where you can get your own video. Harper, anything else before we get out of here, sir?
No.
Doc, what about you? Anything you want to close out with? 16-1, Super Bowl suck it. You're blown up?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Okay, I'll tuck it out, huh?
I get tired quicker. I'm getting older now.
Grab a hold.
Bro, there is something to that.
What?
Like, not necessarily being sleepy, but just getting older and be like, man, I just want to sit down and kick my shoes off and do nothing.
God. Hey, bro, you don't got to tell me, bro.
Like, that's
We're
it.
old. This show sucks. We're old.
I'm old, man.
I mean, we're all approaching 50, man.
You know how I know I got old? When the LSU Ole Miss game, right, was on 2 weeks ago. I was like, you know, I'm at the point where, like, I don't even feel like going to the bar to watch the game, bro. To where, like, so I sat here. I'm just going to drink a couple of beers and watch the game. I got fucked up on the sofa with the dog.
That's the best night you could have had.
That is great.
And that's what I'm thinking. This is when I know I'm getting old, where I don't want to go to the bar. I would rather just sit here on the sofa and get fucked up petting the dog.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That you made the right decision.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why that's great. First off, Doc and I actually had that happen much earlier because of kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of like forced into that. But the other thing is, it's a blessing when you reach that point because you're going to spend a lot less money.
Bro,
just sitting at home.
You ain't lying about that, because I went to the game, because I haven't been out in fucking forever. So the second half of the LSU game, it's like, you know what? I'm going to the bar. Just watch the rest of it. And everybody's like, where you been, bro? Where you been? I was like, I've been doing nothing. I said, I've been hiding, bro.
Nothing wrong
with
with that.
What else? You know what else? When you start doing that all the time and then you go to a bar, I get so impatient having to wait for a fucking drink. No,
so
I'm going to walk to my second refrigerator, the beer refrigerator, and get a beer and be back in my seat and maybe throw a piss, and I'll be back for the next, when the commercial ends, for the next possession.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even imagine what your beer bill would be, Doc, if you were at a bar watching football.
Mine's not bad, because if it's just me drinking, it's probably like $25-$30.
Doc's an alcoholic.
Come on.
What?
Because I don't do shots and I'm not buying rounds for everyone. It's just me drinking Budweiser. So it's not like.
I've seen Doc drink over the course of 4 hours. He's a alcoholic.
That's not. Dude, I just get into a good rhythm. That's all.
I can't do that shit anymore, dude.
Bruh, he drinks. I know he puked the last time I left his house when we recorded all those shows, because he was drinking beer and he switched to whiskey and started shooting whiskey on top of the beer. I know he puked. He'll never admit it, but I know he puked.
I did not puke.
Okay, you're lying, but whatever.
No,
it is what it is. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
somebody hit a tagline. Shit.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. Thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate it. Yeah, Harper, won't you hit the tagline? Let's roll and get out of here. Let's bounce.
Book it, bitch.